Hello and welcome back to a very long in the making art stream. I'm going to be very rusty with this because I've not done one of these since last May, but we'll just see how it goes. So let's just start with seeing if you can hear me alright against the background music. If the music's too loud, please let me know and I'll turn it down a little bit, but yeah, I find music sort of helps make these flow a bit better, if you know what I mean. So cool. Without further ado, let's jump in and do tell me if the background music is too loud. Hello Viral, yuck, to you as well. Dang, it's been a while. If I remember correctly, the last time was for X2's models. You are correct, last May. So yeah, kind of been slacking on these a little bit, but let's go for it. Alright, so we're going to start by making Lightning's new model for this game, because as is tradition, she gets a new outfit with each game. So what I'm going to do is let's find Lightning's model from the original nutshell, because why fix what's not broken if we can save ourselves a little bit of time. As you can see, I retain all the flash models for all of our characters for this very occasion. So let's find Lightning. Oh. Huh. I don't remember ever drawing a Lightning from behind pose, but apparently I did. Okay, so I'm going to remove all those. Let's create a new layer in between these two. 13-2 as an underrated game. Agree. 13-2 I actually really enjoyed because it sort of fixed all the problems I had with 13 in my opinion. So it gets a lot of points just for that and the fact that it is a solid game in its own right. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a separate set of layer keyframes, and what this allows me to do is delete Lightning's body. And then if I turn onion skin on, which allows me to see a faint outline of the previous layer, or keyframe rather, this will allow me to see and reference the original for making the new model. Now what I want to do is get a reference for Lightning's model in Lightning Returns, so hopefully we will find a good reference image. I will start by doing this because I know Opera Omnia is very good for helping me sort of base my own models on, you know, basically compressing it down to a less detailed form, which is what Opera Omnia is very good at. And as you can see, Opera Omnia does in fact have her model from Lightning Returns. Her shield is kind of blocking the feathery part of the outfit, but that's okay. I'll be able to work around that. So let's just copy that and we'll put it on the layer below, and now I can reference that as I try to replicate it. Hello 64 power. Lightning from behind was for showing Fang her boobs scene. Ah yes. This whole series is plagiarism in a way, Viral. You're not making some kind of statement there. Opera Omnia gang, rise up. There are literally dozens of you. So without further ado, we go on to the blank layer above here, and we can start. Can't wait to see our boy Caius. Whoever voices him will probably be great. I'm Bowser Jr. fan 13, by the way. So our Caius voice actor, you all know from our previous nutshells. He voiced Cain and Estinian in Final Fantasy IV and 14 respectively. And he did a very good job, and I think you will like his take on Caius. So I look forward to showing you that when it comes out. So what I've been trying to do with models going forward is, because a lot of these models are not used for many scenes sometimes, and sometimes I tend to put too much effort into just one model that won't be on screen for more than a minute, I've taken to sort of simplifying certain details. So as you'll see, I'm not going for all these little lines, as you can see on Lightning's armour. I think she has a single pauldron on the left hand side, I'm not sure. Caius was a great baddie, yes he was. Caius is one of my favourite villains in the Final Fantasy series. Okay, so that's one solid piece, I think. It is now. And then we'll just do the little bit around her neck there. Connect that up to there. As you now know, our models didn't used to have necks, but now I do give them necks because it allows me to pivot their heads when animating a bit easier, so it looks a bit more natural. I love this song. Yeah, 13-2 has a very good soundtrack. It's one of the things I love about it. We're just going to do the little lines on here. Now, I hope I haven't done what I think I've done. I'm just going to check. So let's save Lightning's outfit now, whilst we remember. Lightning. Now just bear with me a second, because I have a horrible feeling I accidentally pressed save over the original Lightning model. No, I didn't. Okay, that's cool. We can carry on. Lightning only has like 4 scenes in the whole of 13-2 anyway. That is true. And yet she's on the box art for 13-2, which makes no sense to me. I know she's the face of 13, so I kind of get why they would do it, but it's slightly false advertising because she's not the main protagonist of 13-2 in any way. In fact, I would say she barely actually has any bearing on the plot, full stop, really, in 13-2. I never got to finish 13-2 because of the timed puzzles. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have swore that if you take too long with the clock puzzles in 13-2, it kind of just solves them for you anyway. That might be a bit of a Mandela effect I'm having, but I seem to recall it just lets you skip them if you take too long doing them. But I also seem to recall there was like a website you could go on which you would input the details of the clock puzzle into this website and it would just give you the solution. Don't know if that website's still around, but that was quite handy as well when I got stuck on them. This is a banger of a track as well. Time, effort and dedication. Nice job on the nutshells. Thank you, Ray. And thank you, Chevy Boy Caprice 6947 as well. I will try to reply to all comments as I see them. Okay, time for Lightning's weird, feathery side skirt. It's very similar to Yuna's weird side skirt thing from, funny enough, Final Fantasy X-2. Seems to be a bit of a tradition. In the sequel to a Final Fantasy numbered game, your character will receive a weird, frilly side skirt. But I am certain these are supposed to be feathers, because, you know, goddess, wings, all that crap. Are you planning doing Stranger of Paradise, Origin in a Nutshell, when that releases? Well, I'm definitely going to play it on release. It's almost like a parody of itself anyway, but at the moment, yes, I do plan to give it a nutshell. We'll see if the ideas flow as I play. Might stream it as well if I can. So that'd be pretty neat to stream a game again. But I actually find these kind of streams easier to do than video game streams, because I find it easier to talk about this kind of thing, because this is sort of my specialty, and when it comes to video games I'm actually not that good at them at all. There we go. Ack, ack, ack. Are you a Martian hunter, P-Brown? Love that movie. That sword seems to be blocking some of there, but as with most character models, I don't tend to put a lot of detail on the legs, because you don't really see from the angles I tend to use, you don't see the legs anyway, so we'll just take that attitude here and give it a very, very simple design. And as Duquesne mentioned a minute ago, she's only in like 4 scenes in this game anyway, so no need to put too much effort into this model. How about doing something from the Saga of Tales? I don't play the Saga games, so probably not. But I have started playing Chrono Trigger lately for the first time, and I've been sort of writing a script as I play it, so you can definitely expect a Chrono Trigger in a nutshell somewhere down the line. I'll probably put it to a vote to when exactly it goes, because obviously what I'm currently trying to do is juggle doing 14 nutshells and doing, well, anything else in between, because I'm trying to catch up with 14 a little bit to be able to get to Endwalker in a nutshell, and that way then 14 nutshells will not dominate the channel as they have been so far. So that is currently what I'm aiming for. Let's give it a bit of gold bang. Okay, this is looking good. Alright. I think I am happy with the line work. Good afternoon, good sir. Hello, Azazel. Congratulations on getting a part in Tactics in a nutshell. You did very well with your audition, and I look forward to working with you. Drinking games with Ayla. Hey, losers. Hey, Patrick. Not sure why your comment was blocked there, but don't worry, I can see it. Okay. So now we're going to start colouring the model. Because I'm colourblind, I do literally just pick the colours from the model itself. Hopefully it's accurate. So we're just going to start colouring in. I would actually say colouring is probably the part that takes the most when making these models. My predictions for Jack in Strangers of Paradise in a nutshell: says chaos over and over with subtitles like Yeul says, Dreams of Honor in Crisis Core, making me want to get back into playing War of the Lions, and watching this makes me want to play 13-2 again. Yeah, I've got a real hankering to play 13-2 again myself. I'd love to, but for whatever reason they never ported the 13 games to PS4, so I can't play it on my PS5, can't play it on the PS4, and the PS3 upstairs is on its death throes, so can't really play it on an actual PS3 either, so... Oh, and I don't know if a lot of you know this, but my PC can't seem to play like PC games at all anymore, so can't exactly play it on Steam either. It's a shame, because it would make getting screenshots for this game so much easier. Because you can't take screenshots on PS3. I checked. So I'll probably have to do what I do for most other nutshells that I can't get screenshots directly for, is open up a YouTube video and print screen and clone stamp my way out of cutting characters out. Hi James Hampton. Yep, I just said about Steam port as Zezel. The one in FF3 in a nutshell was funny. The one? What do you mean? Any plans for nutshells of the 15 DLCs? Pretty please. I'm gonna have to say no. I don't really plan to revisit 15 in any shape or form. I wasn't actually the biggest fan of 15 overall. I don't know if I made that obvious in a nutshell, but yeah. Oh, guess we can turn off our onion skin as well now, because we don't need to reference the previous model. Okay, so where do these boots come up to? They come up to at least there, so let's just save AN there. A little bit of thigh. For the lads. When is Rochelle Hubert wedding? Maybe when you finish saving the world from the final days in about 10 or 20 years. Watch this space. So now we just colour in the boots. And let's ensure we get that golden band around there. I think those will do for colours. Dang, that was fast. I wasn't even paying attention and you're almost done with the model. Yeah, I can work fast when I want to, and this particular model actually wasn't too taxing. 14 models actually tend to take so long to make, and that's why 14 nutshells tend to eat up so much of my time, but now I'm getting to a point where a lot of the character models are pre-made, and I can start sort of reusing some assets. That will go a little bit quicker. I've been playing Final Fantasy X recently, and I realised that you've made Tidus' skin really pale in your nutshell when in-game he had a tan. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did that. I didn't fix it for 10.2 in a nutshell either. Okay, so Lightning's hair is literally exactly the same as it is in the original game, so we don't need to change that. And now we move on to the second part of the model making that is a bit excruciating, is shading. So what I have here is, for people who haven't seen me do these before, it's a pen tool with invisible ink, and this allows me to draw a line for the shading line, and as you can see that's invisible, and that allows me to do this, which is basically picking every single colour that appears on this side and giving it a slightly darker shade. I do try to cheat with this a little bit sometimes by maybe skipping out a few bits which are dark enough where you won't be able to notice any shading. I'm not sure I can really get away with it here, so I think we're going to be doing all of it. Oh, this is a banger of a track as well. Sometimes even if it's not the same colour, but it's similar enough, I will do that to save a little bit of time. Wow, thank you Chevy boy Caprice. It can be part of an inside joke in future. I wish PlayStation had backwards compatibility like Xbox. Me too, 64 power, me too. I would love to play 13.2 again. Let's go, Lightning best Final Fantasy protag. That's a heavily contested statement right there. This is my first time watching the creation process and I'm loving it. Makes me appreciate the final product much more. Thank you Mahal Gaming. Hi Dragonblade Cal L. Nice name. Where was I? Okay, so we're gonna finish off shading for lightning. The stream is also somewhat of a test for if I'm actually gonna be able to use the music for 13.2, because I don't know if some of you know, but previous nutshells have been being hit by copyright strikes because of the music. They seem to be, it's always Warner Chappelle, and it always seems to be just random tracks they do, but the tracks they pick seem to be, I would say, like iconic tracks. So for like example, the prelude of Final Fantasy, the One Winged Angel, To Xanarkun, basically the biggest, most popular tracks from each game, they seem to be going after those whenever I use those in the scene, and whenever you can hear it quite clearly. So I've been trying to avoid using iconic tracks from each game. I don't think 13.2 has anything like that, even though it does have good tracks. We'll see if the copyright gremlin picks any up from this stream when it goes live. Okay, when is this parody releasing? I would like to say maybe hopefully late, either by the end of this month or mid April. I can't make any guarantees, I'm afraid. That I might be able to save a lot of time, because obviously a lot of these models in 13.2 are reused from 13. So hopefully, oh hang on. Okay, she has purple gloves. Right, cool. Okay, so next step is let's remove Lightning's original outfit, because we no longer need that. This is basically what I do. Oh, for God's sake. I freaking knew I did that. Okay, so what I've done here is I've drawn her body on the same layer as her head, which is easy fix, just slightly irritating. Hey chat, how is everyone? Hey Hamstel. I love the music. My favourite is Caius' theme. Yes, Caius' theme is better than One Winged Angel. Don't fight me. Let's shimmy her head just over a smidge. And let's lower it just a smidge. That looks about right. Okay, so let's make it so basically now I have each part of her on a layer, so I can just make Lightning bold at will. The reason I do this is so I can easily animate the face when I need to. This is also a good track. It's the boss theme for certain parts of 13.2. So I'm just going to show you what I mean. So let's save the model before I make any drastic mistakes. So let's say Lightning's hair and her face were all one object. That's great, but now if I want to animate her blinking, it's now going to be a lot more difficult, because the black in her eyes lines up with the line of her hair, so I can, which if I had done this from the start and never made her hair a separate object, I would have to do this to make sure. As you see, that doesn't quite work, and it can take quite a few attempts to make sure this works. As you see, it's not very ideal. And then this is just irritating me now, and this is me doing it on purpose to show you why I have the hair and the head as separate objects. But yeah, means I can't just do what I did with the right eye quite as easily. Let's give her a little smile. And how about some finger guns? most unlightning pose ever. So yeah, that's how I do poses, and as you see, that's the arms are their own layer. And because I actually quite like that, I'm going to export that as a image. Maybe I'll find some sort of use for it. And this is not how I normally save my images either. Did you read that the novel tells you that Caius is like a father replacement for Yeul because every Yeul needs to leave her family as soon as she speaks her first word? No, I didn't, but that is quite interesting to know and explains quite a lot. Maybe use a lighter shade of black, or would it throw off the art? No, because it would be the same problem Cosmic Pepe... sorry, who said that? Sorry, that would cause... would not fix the problem, Chevy Boy Caprice. Thanks, Shooting Star, that's very kind of you. Are you going to do Final Fantasy XIII-2 and XIII-3? Well, XIII-2 is the next nutshell we're releasing. I have actually recently finished writing the script for Lightning Returns, so that's also definitely in the pipeline. I'm not sure when it is. I'm going to be looking to put it to a vote on what ones we do next going forward, to maybe break up the monotony of how many 14 nutshells we've been doing recently. But yeah, XIII-2 is definitely a go, and Lightning Returns is also on the horizon. Okay, so now I've shown you why we have the hair as a separate object. Let's go back. So now that we have the hair as a separate object, I will show you how that makes things easier. So now if I want to animate her eyes closing or doing whatever, because the hair is its own object, it is so much easier. And plus I can make lightning bold. You might recognise this pose from when characters are blinking. Don't ask me how I came up with this process for characters blinking, it's just something I've stuck to ever since it first appeared. As a 14 lover, I appreciate your nutshells of it. Thank you. There's XIII-3 coming? Yep. Did you change a channel member's badges? I updated them so that the longer you're a member of the channel, the higher badge level you get. That might be what you're thinking of. Sadly it doesn't work like Patreon, where it assigns you a badge based on what level of pledge you give. But anyway, I love your work, you are super talented, keep up the amazing job. Thank you, Rachel Sarah K. I can't imagine the family trouble in Final Fantasy Tactics PS1. Well, hopefully you guys like the Tactics nutshell, which might be coming after XIII-2. We'll see. Okay, anyway, so enough farting around with lightning. Let's put all the changes back. Right, so hair layer, face layer, body layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create lightning's neutral pose, which is just hands by the side. And as you can see, that's not quite level, so what I'm going to do is just inch it up a little bit, and then I'll lock all these layers and nudge that bit there, and voila, we have lightning in a neutral pose. So my next step is to prepare this file for when I'm going to be animating lightning. So we'll insert some keyframes, delete that, and what that allows me to do is then, if I need to animate lightning doing anything, I just open up the file and she is ready to go. Let's draw another pose. Ah, Last Hunter. I love this track. Gonna be saying that a lot. As you can see, Select that. And now I just have these two poses. But I'll go into that a bit later in this video. So let's move everything back to where it was. And let's zoom out a little bit. And we will save. Okay, so now that we're done with lightning, we're going to make another character. So we can either make Snow or Yeul next. What would people like to see next? Yeul or Snow? Let's use this break to have a drink. Hello Rab and chat. Hello Ryan Humour. I can see from your badge you're a member of the channel and I thank you for your patronage. Okay, since there doesn't seem to be any votes for who goes next, I will... Oh, Yeul. That's 2 for Yeul, so FemCloud. Yeah, hard choice, but I'll say Snow. Well, with 2 for Yeul, I will, oh, Snow and his silly, that's 2 for Yeul and 2 for Snow. I always forget there's also a delay with these streams from what you can see and what I, say. Yeul, otherwise lightning will do things to hope. Okay, I guess, Yeul wins. Right, so, now you get to see a model completely from scratch, without any prior model being made beforehand. So here we have the standard RABtoon character model template. We've got the head, we have the body. And you'll notice it says RABtoon model template 14. Don't worry, I'm not making any 14 models at the moment. That's just because when I made 14 I changed the model template to be you know, a separate layer for each body part. And because it was 14 at the time, I just said 14 template and I just stuck with it ever since, even when I'm not making a Final Fantasy nutshell at all. So we have our blank template. Now let's get a reference image of Yeul. Now I don't think Yeul is going to be in Lightning Returns Opera Omnia. Don't know why. Hang on, have I done something stupid here? That's definitely her 13-2 outfit. I've not just drawn her Lightning Returns outfit, have I? No. Getting mixed up there. Anyway. Yeul. I highly doubt she's going to be in this game, but... No, didn't think so. But is she perhaps in Logica, which is the other? No. Okay, so this might be interesting. Oh, look at the little Christmas lightning. No worries, I have to do this a lot with 14 models anyway, so it's no big deal. It's just that if there's an Opera Omnia model, it makes things slightly easier to reference and pick colours from, especially being colourblind. I don't know if most of you noticed, she actually does have 2 types of models in 13.2. She has one with hair up and one with hair down. I can't guarantee I'm going to be that much attention to detail, but I will try my best. More than likely I'll probably just use one model for every scene. It's such a minor change anyway. It's just to differentiate some of the Yeuls across the different timelines, so... That song is so relaxing. Yes. No, LR outfit is the backless black leather with capes. What's your opinion on Kingdom Hearts? Good timing on the soundtrack. Well, my opinion on Kingdom Hearts is, frankly, the series ended with Kingdom Hearts 3 for me. I have no interest in the series going forward anymore. So I might just keep up with it via wiki articles, just out of curiosity on how. But the fact that Nomura is hell-bent on shoving his original versus 13 concepts into Kingdom Hearts where they don't really belong, massively put me off. Like, I have no interest in Yozora whatsoever. The whole thing kind of ended sort of quite disappointingly, I would say. So I just have no interest in Kingdom Hearts going forward, but previous games, sure, why not? Did SE ever make an action figure for Caius? No, and I think that's a wasted opportunity. There isn't one for Noel either, which is a shame because I love Noel, he's one of my favourite characters. She got a resting bee face. Well, she kind of does. Cool, just wondering, I once heard the creators of that game also created the Final Fantasy games. Yes, they did. At Theorist, you probably would too if you saw all the futures of humanity. Okay, so unlike Lightning before, we can't just reuse the hair. So I'm going to attempt to recreate Yeul's hair. So if I go quiet, it's because I'm trying to concentrate. Let's see, that parting goes just along there. Just a Pancake did Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell. I don't think I need to make one myself personally. Just being very careful. Trying to match the length, but sometimes if I make these bangs too long, it will cause problems with the model later, and I will go into why later on. The fact she's facing the camera directly on is going to make drawing these things on the side of her head quite difficult. That song reminds me of the Chronicles of Lodos War, just flow in your world. And whilst it's on my mind, I will just quickly save this. 13. Yeul. Funny, this track playing right now is actually the first area in the game. Yeah, it's quite far down the track list in terms of tracks, which is odd considering it's literally the first playable area. Not counting Valhalla at the start, of course. I wouldn't really call a series of QuickTime events playable. Characters with middle partings are the bane of my life when making these models. So far so good. This doesn't seem to be too bad. Not my best work, but it will do. I mean, all she does is die on screen several times. It's not like she needs to do anything arduous. Now, this is why I hate characters with side partings, because look, that has to overlap her face a little bit. So let's just trim some of that outline away. Okay, this is fun to watch. Thank you, Kelly Schmader. Charming. Been here since 53k, you're blowing up, I'm proud of you. Saw your animations, knew you were going to be a hit. Thanks, Guark, that means a lot to me. I know I'm overdue on a 100k special. I did start to sit down and write one, but then got distracted, and I'm now very behind on writing nutshells, so got a lot of catching up to do, but I'm getting there. But there will be a 100k special at some point. Now, because the hair is so long, I think I don't do this often because it kind of makes this a little bit of a faff. But I'm going to create a separate layer for the back of her hair. So comes down to about there. Because you can't see, that doesn't massively matter, but crap. Doesn't quite match up. That's okay. This is the beauty of Flash. I can just stretch that over to there, which will allow it to line up better with the rest of her hair. I've always been a sucker for female characters with long hair. I haven't. It makes drawing them that much more difficult. Fabula Nova Chrysalis vs 13 had so much potential. Really sad SE scrapped it all. Yeah, because it means it got shoved into Kingdom Hearts. And it's now ruining my Kingdom Hearts, which is why I've massively gone off the series. So the hair layer is now going to have to be right at the very bottom, underneath everything else. So now we get to play a favourite little game of mine called Where is the Gap? I can see it straight away this time, so that's not too much of a worry. So basically, when you're filling in on Flash, you have to make sure every gap is filled up, otherwise the fill tool will not work properly. And as you see, there is still obviously a gap somewhere, so I'm just going to turn off that layer. I'm just going to keep looking for gaps. Hopefully it's not too obvious, but sometimes it can be a very, very, very small gap, and it will take me quite a while to find it. I think that's it there. Yep, that was it. Man, that looks weird. If we put that back on, and this is one of the reasons I don't like using the CG models as reference, because I don't think, particularly with skin colour, because this isn't going to look right. Yeah, like none of these are going to look right. But someone mentioned earlier that Tidus has very pale skin, so I'm just going to hop over to our Final Fantasy X folder, and we're going to find Tidus. Let's borrow his skin. Oh, actually, lightning skin tone might work. Yeah, that looks a bit there. I bet Heather's hair was easy to draw her from Silent Hill 3. All Silent Hill characters are so much easier to draw than Final Fantasy characters. I actually look forward to Halloween every year most, because when I'm working on a Silent Hill nutshell, I know that all the characters just have regular people outfits, so they're that much easier to draw. Alright, see ya BT Abyss, thanks for dropping by. Okay, so now we're going to do some accidental blackface. Now I keep the eyelashes for female characters on the hair layer, and I will tell you why. So let's just say, for example, I didn't put it on the hair layer and I had the eyelashes on the face layer. It then does that if I want to. And with it on the hair layer, that means I can do that, and the eyelashes are not affected. Hey, Jesus, Jesus. One of those two pronunciations. So I'm just gonna quickly shade her face. And this is what I do for lips. So using the invisible ink, let's borrow Lightning's. And we go a smidge darker with that shading. It's weird how much those the hairband she wears adds to her character, because without them she doesn't look quite like Yeul. So I'm just gonna do some final touch-ups to the hair layer. Curve it around it departing a little bit. Are you Bitranic? What? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna say no. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the hairbands and I'm going to move on to the outfit next. So let's remove the hair back layer and move on to a layer above the body. Hey Rab, your 14 parody episodes has made me cry laughing multiple times, and I loved characters and their stories. Keep it up. Thanks, Upload.exe. I'm glad that they bring joy to so many people. So I start with the neck for each body layer. And I'm going to simplify the necklace because those are beads and those are a pain in the ass to draw. So draw the shoulders and weird little bow tie things holding up the dress. Man, I hate when Final Fantasy characters have these weird things that are connected by circles. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to draw the circular thing first. That's going to make drawing these things slightly easier. What the fuck is Bitranic? So I'm wondering that myself. I can't wait to see Urianger's current look in the nutshells. Fun fact, I actually have Thancred's current look as a model, mainly because someone commissioned their 14 character to be made by me, and he was wearing Thancred's coat on his as his glamour. So I thought, you know what, Thancred's outfit is literally just, you know, that coat, and his hair is exactly the same. So I just went ahead and made Thancred's outfit for Shadowbringers and beyond early. So that's ready to go when we get there in about 10 years. Man, I hate these kind of outfits. Okay, we're just going to simplify the hell out of these. Okay, I can't quite tell what's going on here because her hair's in the way. I'm going to hazard a guess it links up like that. Says in Wesker voice, "Yes, I shall take this knowledge and make my own, and the world will be mine to rule, Chris." That's easy, just make Lalafell taller. What was the most difficult outfit you drew? That's a good question. Drawn so many over the years. I'm going to say Ravana from Heaven's Ward was quite difficult to draw because all the pictures of him are online are quite grainy. I tried to get screenshots myself in game, and there's so much detail on him. I found it hard to simplify his outfit, his design. What I actually did was I used some random sort of fan art of him online and saw what they did for certain details, and I tried to sort of mimic what they did to simplify his outfit when making my own model. In particular, the face, his face, Ravana's face, was quite difficult to nail down. $19.99 forever, RABtoons, Ukraine. What about Ukraine? I watch your videos from the R1 time. It's really cool to see the creation process. Thank you, Adriano Diley. Okay, I may have drawn too much going up for this outfit, but that's cool. I'll show you what I do to simplify that in a minute. And this part's going to make it feel gross because she's a kid, so I don't know why they put a random clitoris in the middle of her top. I'm not going to bother with these little weird beads hanging off there. Really feel like I need to be put on some sort of list for doing this, but I assure you this is just for parody purposes. Oh, I really hate bloody frilly things on dresses. Waiting to see what this stream's bonus drawing will be. You said she's a kid. How old is she? I don't think they ever actually state exactly how old she is, but I know she's definitely not that old. I know she's similar in age to Yeul, Noel, who I know is quite young. She had the same boots as Vanille. Sorry, I just have to check this. No, Vanille has like weird Ugg boot high heels. Do you have plans to do a nutshell for Type 0? Yes and no. It's not like going to be anyone soon. I would definitely like to do one though, but the main problem is trying to figure out how to handle the characters, because obviously there are a lot of characters in Class 0. So Do I make Rem and Machina the main characters, because they kind of are in the actual game? Do I make it Ace, because he's the main character? I just gotta sit down and plan out how to actually do it properly. Yay, Chocobo theme. Can we imagine we get a World of Final Fantasy as a parody in this channel and Sora appeared saying, "Hi sisters"? Don't know though, because World of Final Fantasy in itself is kind of a parody. You know, it's not an overly serious game, so I don't know, maybe. We'll see. So we're going to simplify these boots because, as I said, nutshell characters are often seen from the waist up. As you see, I'm really simplifying the boots. When a nutshell of World of Final Fantasy, I just answered this a second ago, but obviously there are delays in the stream. Yeah, but I answered that a few minutes ago. So, in Flash it is practically impossible to create gradients, so I don't tend to create gradients, I just tend to do two tones. Come to think of it, I probably should have made this model a bit shorter as well. I'll show you what I can do for that in a minute. Queen is the main character of Type 0, I think. She gets her Psycho Berserker from, and no one else gets anything like that. Interesting, I don't think I've ever seen the Queen as the main character of Type 0 angle before. Pull the model down a bit more. Let's just pick random colours from bead necklace. I'd say that works. So, just bought my The Batman tickets. Enjoy! I hope it lives up to all the hype. And let's just, as I said before, I can't do gradients in Flash, so two tones is the best you're going to get. And we've got some more random coloured beads. We'll just pick random colours. Okay, I think that does it for the colours on her outfit. Oh, I forgot the weird gem she has in the middle of whatever the hell that's supposed to be. Actually, I can't really show any details on it because of how small it is. Why is that doing that? Didn't ask it to be invisible. Okay, this is starting to come together. Let's do a courtesy save. Make sure to bring a camera and record it or stream it to Discord for us. Okay, so next we're going to do the shading for the body. As I predicted, for some reason that's not invisible ink anymore. Just follow the curve down. And we just pick slightly darker shades for each part of the outfit on this side. This is a nice track as well, very relaxing. Okay, let's shade the hair. As you see, I just picked the darker colour from the actual reference image, just to save a little bit of time. That's actually a little bit too dark in comparison, so there we go. Crap, didn't mean to do that. So I'm just gonna connect this up. No. Okay, not sure what's going on here. Definitely on that layer. Nope. Right. Take 3. There we go. Why didn't you put the little gold things in her hair? Because I said I was gonna come back to those at the end. Because I can't, because she's facing the camera in this model, I can't quite see the details, so we're going to come back to those in a minute. Oh man, I love this track as well. It's so cheesy, but so good. I've wanted to ask you this for some time. Did you go to school for animating? Yes and no. I went to school to do art, and I did digital art in a university, and I didn't really get on, and I kind of flunked out. So I think since then it's been self-taught. I'd actually say I didn't learn Flash or any kind of art program at college or university. Just sort of the basics in Photoshop at college, but nothing really at university. So yeah, a lot of this is just self-taught and looking up tutorials. Alright, where am I? Okay, as I said, I'm not going to use that for referencing. Now, as I said, I think I made her a little bit too tall, so we're just gonna make the model a little bit shorter, get rid of that layer. There we go. What is this song called? If you're on about the song Right Now, which I think would have been playing when you asked the question, Historia Crux, sung by Origa, who is unfortunately no longer with us. She died shortly after the game came out, which is it's a shame. You didn't do the skin colour on the side slits of her skirt. Yeah, I did. Okay, as you mentioned, I did not do the things on her hair, so I'm going to go back to Google and I'm going to see if I can find a picture which shows them a bit better. Yeah, I think I can make that work. Okay, so let's zoom out and let's put a layer down here. Don't know what was on that layer, but that can now become the arm layer. Paste the image into there. Best world map theme XD. Agreed, agreed. After the Final Fantasy games, do you have another franchise in mind? Well, there's a little obscure video game series called Resident Evil people keep asking me to go back to. They've been asking me a lot recently. I'm not sure what's ramping up the request for Resident Evil recently, but yeah, Resident Evil. I've started playing Chrono Trigger and I've started writing a little script for that, so that's technically different from Final Fantasy, even though it's kind of like a Final Fantasy game in spirit. You made Yeul so pretty. Thank you, Silver Kitsune. Okay. Tune. This theme is sort of the boss theme for 13-2 for some fights. Right, how the hell am I gonna do this? Right. Very carefully is how we're gonna do it. So it seems to come level with her ear. I have no idea what it's supposed to be. Is it like a gem? You gotta be careful because it doesn't come off her hair too much. I remember the first time I heard this track. Although he says gates through timelines, I always heard gangster timelines. Because back then I didn't actually have, you know, I couldn't just download the track as easily to hear it clearly, but when you're like listening to this in game and obviously you can hear all the in-game sound effects, it definitely sounds like he was saying gangster timelines. What the hell is going on with this thing? Is that like a second mini gem? Well, the RE3 nutshell will probably be like the game, rather short. RE3 already is its own nutshell. Oh, this soundtrack is the best worlds collide. Yes, agreed. Will you do Strangers of Paradise? Yes, I will. Said that earlier in the stream, which you probably weren't here for, but gonna play it, script it, and yeah. Gangster timeline, best timeline. Okay, because this screenshot is weird lighting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that image of Yeul back up. Oh, I suppose I could have used this as a reference as well. I love these random people. As you can see, this is from some people randomly on DeviantArt have like character models in T-poses and sort of spun around for reference and stuff, and it's so handy for people like me who are trying to make models. Wow, thank you, Jose, that is very generous of you. And I like the little Rocket Man animation as well. Come to think of it, that's not quite... what should I do? Okay. I'm gonna scrap that, and we're gonna use this instead. RE3 could have Mia Jovovich screaming Nemesis and Nemesis screaming Stars. I always wonder if I'm saying her name right. I assume it's Mila Jovovich. Oh, where's the gap? Now this one's a weird track, but it is also a good one. Exploring the ruins whilst this plays. Those were good times. I think that's as accurate as that weird little thing's gonna get, so yeah. Now what I'm gonna do is, because I don't want to have to draw that again for that side, I'm going to do a little trick which I developed for Aura in 14 when I'm making Aura models. So let's find the hairband. I'm going to copy that. I like it better with the lyrics personally. Same, a lot of people don't like the lyrics on this track, but I think it adds a certain flavour to the track. So what I've done here is I've pasted the hairband thing there. And as you can see, that's not really going to work. Let him come, let him come. So if I squeeze that like that a little bit. And then I'm going to cut it again. How am I going to do this? There we go. And there we go. Actually, I'm going to go another step here. I'm going to... Crap, didn't mean to do that. Lock the hair layer. Gonna make sure nothing remains. Unlock all the layers. Cut, and that way it's part of the layer. And as you see, there's still a little bit hanging on. Okay, I've messed up here somewhere because I've accidentally shaved part of her hair off, so let's go back. Lock the hair, lock the face, lock back part. Cut that, put that there. Still not quite right. Okay, I think that's as good as that's going to get. Ever play Sly? Yes, I love Sly, Raccoon. It's a shame that series died a death along with Jack and Daxter. I mean, there's rumours there's going to be a new one, like, every so often, and it just, like Silent Hill, it kind of hurts to hear these rumours come up, and you know they're not going to mean it, like, amount to anything, because they're just rumours, and it just, I wish people would stop doing it, because it just, you know, beats you down a little bit more, knowing there's never going to be another Sly game, most likely, or a Silent Hill game. Okay, right. So this is Yeul's model mostly done. You know, I never liked it when female characters had so much more leg than upper body. Some men prefer women with legs that go all the way up, but not me. It's just a nitpick though. Alright. I'm going to keep the hairbands as a separate layer, even though it's slightly irritating to have so many layers on a model. Get rid of that. Let's give her a idle pose model. Yep, and there we go. We have Yeul. Quite pleased with how that turned out, actually, considering how difficult her hair was to do. So as we did with Lightning's model, we create another keyframe for when I start animating, so that I can just jump straight into it when the time comes. Now, as you know, Yeul has two different hairstyles. We're not going to do the other one in this stream, but basically in some scenes she has this weird headdress on. It seems to be a different thing from that, but basically it's like a veil and she has her hair in a ponytail, but it's mostly the same. I'm probably most likely going to forget to do this for random scenes, but hopefully I will remember, because it is supposed to differentiate which Yeul Noel is currently talking to. Okay, right. So that's Yeul and Lightning finished. Let's move on to Snow. Now, even though I have a Snow model from 13, I'm not going to just straight up reuse that model, because his hair in 13.2 is actually not exactly the same, just without the beanie, and I will go into why in just a moment. So I'm just trying to find my template in a second. So we got our template. Let me just take a drink. Thank you Malfina and Silver Kitsune and 64 Power and Theorist. Now I'm pretty sure Snow is in Opera Omnia. Does he have his second outfit? He has his Lightning Returns outfit in Opera Omnia, but he doesn't have his Chocobo hair outfit, which is no major drama. Let's try Pictologica. Same thing, they and for good reason, they prefer his Lightning Returns outfit. So we're going to have to find a reference image from the OG 13.2. Now, if you compare that to it almost looks like it's the same outfit, just the same hairstyle, just without a beanie on. But no, it is actually different. It even seems to be slightly darker in tone as well. Like, you know, these bangs come down here, and you'll notice it looks very similar to Chocobo feathers from the same game. But yeah, it's not the exact same hairstyle, just without the beanie, so we can't just reuse his model. Sad face. Okay, right, enough farting around. I always thought the way he looks at you in this particular CG render looks very creepy. I always thought it was a bandana at first. And I think you might be right, it is a bandana. Why did I think it was a beanie? It's something, that's alright. Okay. So let's start with the hair. It shouldn't be too hard because it's quite angular, which sort of lends to making models a little bit easier. That's how he looks at Sarah at night. It's creepy. Have you drawn a fat chocobo yet? Yes, I did for in a Nutshell, I seem to recall. Sorry if I go quiet, drawing hair is a bit of a bugbear for me. Especially in this style, trying to get it to look right. It looks like he's doing the Dwayne Johnson eyebrow raise thing. Yeah, he kind of does actually. His beard's a bit more pronounced in 13-2 as well. Okay, this looks okay so far. Not my best work, but it is snow after all, who cares? Hey Omar. Do 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 do. This track is a banger, as is a lot of the 13-2 track. Okay. So I think I'm happy with the hair. Actually, I might just add a few more lines. There we go. I'm going to open up his original model just for a second. I like how that's the first pose it opens up on. Sorry, don't mind me just screwing around. Okay, so his beard in this one is quite faint, but it's a bit more noticeable on this one. And I'm also going to save this one, I'm thinking of it. Oh, sorry, I didn't name this one correctly. Boy, I wish there was a 12-2. Oh crap! I'll have to go back and name it properly when I don't have it open. You can hear this battle theme. You can hear it in Opera Omnia if you have no burst weapon. Oh, that's quite cool. This battle theme is fire. It sure is. So I'm just going to copy the hair color from this model. I'm not too bothered that it's not exactly the same hair color as this CG render. Revenant Wings is 12-2 more or less, just markedly different. This is really tame in comparison, not as much as some. Oh, sorry, I'm reading your comment out of order there. I'll borrow Lightning's skin tone for this. Yeah, this is looking pretty good so far. Now what I'll do is his beard. What I'll do is I'll copy the beard color from here. Would you believe me if I said Yugi's hair isn't the craziest? Yes, I would. I mean, have you seen oh, what's his name? That purple-haired kid from 13. Huge, I think his name is. Actually, could I get away with just... No. I'll do it properly. That's not what I meant to do. And we'll have it as same layer as the hair. Just fine little goatee hairs going all the way up to here. Yeah, that looks like a douchebag, right? He kind of looks like King from Type 0 the way you've drawn him, I think. Cool, so when I come to do Type 0 in a nutshell, I'll just reuse Snow's hair from here. That'll work, right? Okay, right. So now we're just going to shrink this reference image just a little bit more. Now we're going to do the coat. Just checking if there's a way for me to save a little bit of time. yes and no. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to outright reuse Snow's coat. I am going to insert some keyframes. Let's move that up a bit. How would you describe your rise in popularity since your FF1 animation? Honestly, unprecedented. So at the time when I made FF1 in a nutshell, I was kind of... I was just bored, really. I just thought, you know, I've been sat on this script I, you know, wrote ages ago now. Why don't I just go ahead and animate it, you know, what's the worst that could happen? And then, just like, shortly after I uploaded it, it just sort of boomed in popularity for some reason. I don't know what happened, but it was definitely unexpected. And with each one I've done since, it just kept going up and up. And I think I've sort of hit a plateau at the moment, so that's why I'm sort of starting to think about broaching out beyond Final Fantasy, trying not to pigeonhole myself too much. Now, I've always described this weird undercoat, this undershirt he's wearing, as a negligee, because one, it's pink, and look, it's got little frills just there. And actually, I think I need to accentuate that a little bit, because without giving away too much, there is a joke about his outfit in 13-2 that mentions the frilliness of his undershirt specifically. So what I'm going to want to do is zoom in so I can show off these little frills properly. So you can see, I'm not outright reusing his coat that I've drawn before. I'm using it as a sort of guide to help make this model. You could do Bloodborne, but it's just an average day in the life of a British person. What about SWTOR? I assume that's Star Wars Old Republic? If so, I've never played it. Yeah, for someone who is a video game parody channel, I haven't actually played that many video games outside my sort of comfort zone, which is sort of Final Fantasy, Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. I'll just copy his coat going down, and then we'll just tatter that shit up at the bottom. Tattered fashion is toit. Dragon Quest. Which Final Fantasy game is your favourite? I get asked this one quite a lot, and my answer is and always will be Final Fantasy IV. Almost forgot his little necklace as well. Adriano Diley, yes, we are doing tactics soon. Thanks for answering that, Patrick. This is a nice relaxing track as well. Very otherworldly. That's what Masashi Hamazu excels at, I say, in his soundtracks. Mass Effect could be a fun series to parody as well. Again, I would have to play it. Really need to broaden my horizons. Like FFXIII-2 Giga Chad. Are you calling me a Giga Chad? That's very high honour, if you are, so thank you. Let's draw his little booties. Good choice. FF4 is one great FF, and you're my favourite nutshell you ever made. It's funny you say that, it's also my favourite nutshell of mine that I've made. To toot my own horn a little bit. So just something about that particular nutshell flows so well. I'm not going to bother drawing the buttons because, you know, what's the point? Those pants, those trousers he's wearing, very similar to Cloud's, I would say. Oh no, that's a bit too dark. I'd say that's just about the right colour. Let's grab the colour of his necklace. Who is your favourite divinity in the Final Fantasy franchise? Now I assume you mean like God type character, and I would have to say Hydaelyn from 14 is probably my favourite as of Endwalker. Can't really spoil why, but basically revelations in that game made me warm up to her quite a bit, where I was quite sort of ambivalent to her before. Know you the root of this corruption? Hydaelyn. Like a parasite, she must be burnt out if his planet is to survive. Okay, his outfit actually turned out quite alright, I'd say. Don't think I've missed anything. So I think we can get rid of snow. Wishful thinking. La la ha ha ha. On 14, Hildebrand is funniest. How did you get into Final Fantasy RABtoons? So when I was about 7 years old, I used to go to a video rental place that also did video games, because we didn't really have a lot of money at the time. Renting video games was sort of a cheaper option to play through some games, and I saw the cover for Final Fantasy VII and picked it up, read the back of it, and I was just enamoured with this game. So obviously we rented it. I couldn't afford a memory card, so every time I because I rented it more than once, I should mention as well. Every time I rented it, I would effectively speedrun the game, leaving the PlayStation on overnight, because I obviously couldn't save the game without a memory card. Way before internal storage was a thing. And yeah, I just kept playing it over and over, and I just became obsessed with it. And same thing with 8, and it's just sort of been a thing ever since. There's always an eerie sadness to this track. I don't normally do this for characters, but since this model didn't take that long to make, I'll go the extra mile to put shading on this side as well. I got to go. I'm sorry if I get catch watching videos at this hour. My mum is going to spank me. Nice to see you, theorist. Hopefully you don't get caught. The classic 90s gaming experience. It sure was. Very inefficient, but very nostalgic. Okay, so we finished Snow's body. Now we can start creating poses for him. What's up? Hey, Nico VA. That's the voice actor for our Noel. It's dropped by. Say hi to Nico VA, everyone. I kinda missed some stuff, had to help a friend, but I didn't close out the video. Thank you, Chevy boy. Just gonna lower that arm there. Yeah, that looks about right. As always, create another keyframe, delete that, and that's just basically ready to go when I come to animate. There we go. Snow's 13.2 model. So tonight we have made Lightning's 13.2 model, Yeul, but we didn't make her alternate veil, so we'll do that another time. And obviously finally Snow. Now this is the part of the stream where I just chill out and maybe do some doodles or something to sort of, you know, cool down before I end the stream in a bit. So now it's something I call Doodle Request Time. So if there's any random doodles you want me to draw, like in my non-nutshell style, because I have an alternate style which is sort of like a cartoony thing, just chuck out any suggestions and I'll try and doodle them from memory. It's another challenge. People try and get me to doodle things from memory, often with disturbing results. Snow kind of reminds me of a 2000s boy band for some reason. Yes, he does have that vibe. I'll just take a drink while you guys chuck out any requests. Anything that comes to mind. FF6 Terror. This could be an interesting one. Trying to do this from memory. Trying to visualize her in my head. Does she have a headband? God, and I call myself a Final Fantasy fan. I can picture her outfit quite easily. Probably getting so many details wrong. This is literally just from memory. Kind of thing that this looks more like Rosa from Final Fantasy IV. Put a question mark because I'm fairly certain I got this completely wrong. Oh god, GTA 5 trailer. Just for Tony, Fat Spider-Man. Doodle of Ethan from Resident Evil. So, finally got someone for Caius. Yep, we cast our Caius. It's going to be the same guy who did Kane and Estinian from our 14 parody. Nice art style. Thanks, AJ. Does he use a mouse doodling this? Nope, I use a Wacom tablet. Wow. Do Fat Spider-Man or Fat Batman? Pudding way doodle, please. Okay. Let's go for a Fat Spider-Man, just for you, Daikaiju Tony. I was never actually that, for someone who was like a massive Spider-Man fan as a kid, I was never actually, and someone who grew up with a passion for art, I was never actually that good at drawing Spider-Man himself. A nice dripping pizza in his hand. This track reminds me of a Flow from Endwalker. Also feels weird to have such a soothing track whilst drawing this abomination. Never any good at drawing the webbing on his suit, that's the problem. So this is just like very rudimentary webbing. There you go, a fat Spider-Man for Daikaiju Tony. Enjoy, buddy. That honestly be me when I'm not on a diet. You and me both. Do Megamind. Never mind. Yes, you do Megamind, please. Okay, Megamind. That could be interesting. Because I do love that movie, but this is obviously going to be from memory. Oh, let's try it from this angle instead. His design always subtly reminded me of Cortex from the Crash Bandicoot series. I'm trying to visualize him in my head at the moment. It's so weird when I'm asked to draw things from memory of things I very clearly have fond memories of and can remember quite clearly. It never actually translates into my drawing. Name of this song? This is Song of the Farseers from Final Fantasy XIII-2. He had that spiked jacket and not chin with a little goatee. Okay, yeah, so I was right that he has a goatee. He obviously has a big bulbous head, and as you correctly said, yes, he does have a spiky sort of jacket thing. I call this Megamind the RABtoons version. No, I do draw better than this when I'm sat down to draw a proper piece, but this is just shitty little doodles from memory. Pretty sure he had a cape. Mega Mind? Not a Chad Chin, I mean. Recent subscriber, where do you hail from? I hail from T-Land. Now, just because I'm morbidly curious, I want to see how close I was. I mean, I wasn't far off. I obviously forgot the little Thunderbolt pattern on his torso. I remembered the cape, I remembered the collar and the gloves, kind of. Not a bad shout. Okay, any more requests? Any more? If I can make a suggestion, Thanos, you should do a Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia video. Holy F, long name. Okay, Thanos. This one should be easy to draw from memory. Here's a nutsack chin. I'll draw one with his helmet on. Looking more like Scarlet Witch's helmet, but oh well. looking like that. It's my turn on the Xbox meme. I don't know what version of Thanos you're getting here, but it's what you're getting. There you go. Thanos, kind of. He has a thong. Oh, I remember the thong, yeah. Any more suggestions? Got a bit more time. Might have to run to Azunia's stream soon if he's on time. But Duquesne. I don't do these very often. Azunia streams like every other day. Thongos. It's supposed to be Thanos. I was going to ask which Thanos, lol. There's the mythology one, a few game ones, the MCU one. I think I've got time for maybe one or two more requests, so anything, just throw out any suggestions. Oh yeah, someone said GTA 5 Trevor. Not sure I got the hair exactly right, but as I said, I'm trying to do this from memory, but because it's Trevor, I was fighting the urge just now to double check I got his hair right. My night is ruined. There you go, Trevor from GTA 5, apparently. I couldn't remember if he had a beard or a stubble for some reason, but I think I got his hair right. You're drawing outside the white box, stupid. That's very rude. Do you not think maybe I do that on purpose for a reason? I mean, all these models are like inside the white box, and I just open up a brand new thing to quickly do some doodles. You know, it's not supposed to be serious. Well, I'm a go. Enjoyed watching you work, Rab. Remember to pace yourself. Your talent is phenomenally awesome. Thank you, Andrew Roberts. Okay, I think I got time for one more doodle. Thanks, Duquesne. You ruined my girlfriend's night. I hope you're happy. Someone mentioned Ethan from Resident Evil 8, so I think I'll cap off the night with Ethan. Okay, I don't know what Digital Void's on about, but I'm just going to do my own thing. There you go. Ethan from RE8. I gave him black shady eyes because canonically we have never actually seen his face. Ethan has no head, only a body. I demand this to be drawn the true way. He has only arms and feet. Okay. There you go. A more accurate Ethan. Okay, so I think that's about all the time I have for tonight. It's more doodles than I would. No, it's about the same amount of doodles I would normally do at the end of the stream. So it's all's good. Thank you. I was having a bit of a rough day, but being part of the stream made me feel a little better. Good night. So yeah, on that note, I shall end the stream there, and thank you all for tuning in. It's been fun doing one of these again, and it was great to actually produce some awesome models. So just to recap, we did Snow, Lightning, and Yeul. I think we made them look pretty good. So I shall catch you all next time, and yeah, stay safe, and hopefully I can do one of these maybe same time again next week. We'll see. Alright, see you guys later.